Hello, I'm Sam Highfield, a VFX Supervisor, and I'd like to tell you a story about how a while ago I figured out it's actually cheaper to pay someone £500 a day than it is to pay someone £250 a day, which sounds like a logic error, but if you listen to the story then it'll make sense. So a while ago I was on a project and it would start off at this size and it's getting bigger, and that was great because I thought, great, more budget, we can go and hire and expand the VFX team, right? So I'd already exhausted the pool of people that I already knew. So I went and put a post on LinkedIn and I said, compositors wanted who can do remote working, right? Which is great because people from all around the world can be hired if they can do the work, right? Why not? So, and straight away, as you can imagine, within like an hour, I got so many replies. It was like bam, 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 like I'm available, I'm free, this is my YouTube, this is my IMDb. And I could just go and click through all these and take a look. All right, her show reels, it looks like from her show reel, it looks like she can do the kind of shots that I need for this project. And he can probably do, from a show reel he can probably do the kind of work that I need for the project, which is great. And it was so easy to find so many great people straight away. So what I do as well is I actually go and call them as well. And which is an interesting thing when you call VFX people, because they tend to be a bit introverted, which is a nice way of saying the nerds, right? But nerds is what we want. So anyway, I called this one guy because one, I want to know the real person, and two, they're not just blagging it, because if someone's very experienced in VFX, I should be able to call them on the phone, ask them some straightforward VFX questions, and they should be able to reply, quite casually in the VFX lexicon about, what needs to be done. And then you can find out very quickly if they're actually who they say they are and what their abilities are, like what they say they are online. And it's very obvious when they're not like that as well. So anyway, talking to him, ticking all the boxes, which is great. I thought I can really get along with this person. And then I asked him the golden question, what's your day rate? And he said, £500. Okay, £500 a day, okay. £500! My word, at that point, I'd never paid anyone as much as £500. Most of the guys as hiring freelancers, £250 a day. So I thought, wow, £500 a day, that's a lot of money, that's insane, Never paid anyone that much money. It was a decent project, but it wasn't like a huge project where we can just start throwing money away. But I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and in it says, don't think like the poor dad. So if something's very expensive, is it very expensive or is it a lot of value? So I thought, okay, I'll change my thinking a little bit and I'll roll the dice and start hire this guy at £500 a day. So anyway, I start paying this guy £500 a day for remote working. And then I started seeing the work that started coming in from this guy, and I was delighted. When the shots came back, it was like version 1 was great. And I thought, okay, this is great. They managed to do the shot as I required to it. I thought, no notes required. And then, so I sent it off to the director approved it. I thought, wow, that's incredible. I didn't have to do a load of notes, start circling things or start, suggesting better techniques for doing things. And it was incredible. So, to do a comparison, let's say to do my other guys on £250 a day, they could do, say, 1 unit of work per day. So if I needed them to do 4 units of work, that'd take them like 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So, maybe 3 days if they worked a bit quicker, but typically around 4 days. So 4 days at £250 a day, but this other guy on £500 a day, in 1 day, he could consistently do 4 units of work. So I thought, hang on. So if I'm paying £500 for 4 units of work, or to do 4 units of work over here, I have to pay the £250 a guy, £250 a day, people 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 days, 4 days to do 4 units, or 1 day to do 4 units. So obviously there's a time saving there, but so that's £500 to do 4 units, or £1,000 to do 4 units. But my word, it's actually cheaper to pay this guy £500 a day and he can do 4 units. And it's less hassle for me, because basically, it took so much less notes and feedback and help from me. It was like I can keep my, what I call the high tower position, where I can keep a good overview of the whole project, because if I have to start helping one artist a lot, then I call that being down in the trenches. Now, of course, you've got to do some down in the trenches work, but I mean, if I'm spending so much time telling them, how to do the work, do this was really wrong, do this, like teaching them a lot how to do things, or if I suggest something and they're just not getting over and over again, then that's a lot of time in the trenches and spending so much time with one person that further down the trench, something could be going really wrong. In fact, it could be so bad that the whole project, unbeknownst to me, be going off the cliff. And I wouldn't see it because I'm not in the high tower position, because I'm too much in the trenches or down the rabbit hole. I sometimes use that as like an Alice in Wonderland analogy. So what I didn't do is just trash all the £250 a day guys, because I have loyalty, you see. And if people have worked hard with me and I've trained them a bit, I try to keep them with me and take them with me project to project, right? And then you get the advantage of, I know them very well, know what they can do, and I can also improve their skills, because when I give notes and fixes for them to tell them how to do things, it's more worthwhile if I keep them with me. So how I like to work, they have that in them, and then they can bring that with them on future projects, right? So I basically came up with this new system where instead of paying them per day, I paid them per unit of completed work, which is very good for remote working, I find. So if someone's more productive, they can earn more money. If someone's less productive, they earn less money. So it's kind of up to the VFX artist, really. So, and it worked out that I judged it quite well, because, the £500 a day guy, he was still on like £500 a day. And the £250 a day, they were on about £250 a day, Now the great thing is because people can level up from what I tell them, the £250 a day guys, I could start, it worked out, good business sense to actually pay them more, because they became more productive. And one of the guys who was on £250 a day, he actually topped out, I think, at £600 a day. And I can tell you, I was very happy to pay him that £600 a day. So anyway, that's what I learned. Also, if someone's sliding a lot as well, and someone's really, really underperforming, taking a lot of notes from me, if I'm giving them a lot of, perhaps helping them more than I should do, giving them like a lot of help and say, this is exactly how you do it, and they're still not getting it, one, they get punished because they earn less anyway. And if it's taking up so much of my time, again, I'm spending too much time in the trenches, I'm gonna have to let that person go, unfortunately. But I will help someone out a lot before I will let them go, However, what I can say is that, and this is something I've really enjoyed with my time VFX supervising, is you get to discover what people are best at. And if you can put someone in exactly the role that they are best at, then amazing things can happen. And that's something that I've really enjoyed, kind of find out what that person is best at and put them in exactly that role where they can just do that, and then superb things can happen. Anyway, I'm Sam Highfield, VFX Supervisor. Consider hiring me for your next project. My email will be somewhere around this video, so send me a message and we'll get a conversation going and we can talk about your project. Okay, that's it for this one, and I'll see you in the next one.